Everyone is a human, so I'm still jealous. In this world, we have many types of people. Those include the depressed, the happy, the lucky, the unlucky, the undervalued, and then we have the privileged. The one type of people that I don't like. Please note I did not mention the word hate because hate as love is an intense feeling that no one should direct it to a random concept or people. I don't like the privileged because I have gone through a lot of and a variable amount of things, and I see the world around me. It's goes on moving despite whatever happens in my life, despite what I feel, despite what I like, and the world goes on. It does not concern for my feelings or whatever I wish for it. Like, there comes a time when you realize that you are not always going to get what you want. And that realization is very reality shattering for people who think this way. I am a simple person. I'm driven by simple things. And yet, when I see this world, see the humans, I feel odd like, what has gone wrong? What happened? We didn't used to be like this. If you take into consideration, humans are social creatures, and as such, they have one specific thing that all of us lust for, and that is understanding, being understood, wanting attention, and and you throw internet into the mix, throw trends where groupthink, grouping comes along. And what do these attention starved humans want? Attention. You throw internet, what you give them? A media, a big place to carve that attention. And what has been the recent trend? Well, isn't it obvious? I'm talking about rage baiting. The act of trying to convince someone that they are wrong, even though it's clearly that they are right, and you are just messing with them. For what? To gain attention. What else do humans want? And this rage bait, rage bait culture has been leading humans astray. Like, it's dividing humans. We, every species needs to stay together for growth. Like, we are not in some fantasy where one single individual can hold much more power than any other individual, unless, of course, we give them power. That is, of course, capitalism, influence, data. And now it's been ever present. It's just a part of the system. It's so inherent in that we don't even stop to consider about it. Think of it as like an exterior body, a pathogen. No, it's just a part of the body that we live in, a feature, you might say. And those who exploit it, well, they get riches from it. And those who are exploited by it, they get their life scattered. So you take a human, give them hopes, promises, expectations, and then you throw internet. Now access to information. With that, human greed, human us humans want attention, as I mentioned before, and they want to do the best. Inside of us, our subconscious as a species, it's inherited to be better, to be best, and what comes out of this? Comparison, the thief of all joy, all happiness, the one thing that will strip you of your happiness, strip you of your peace, strip you of the calm and the relaxed environment you might have built around yourself. And all of this, it's just a part of the whole. It's just become like this. Let's say you want to quit it, you fucking cannot. Because that's how it is designed. Designed by groups of people with much more influence than you can ever imagine. Data that you cannot even comprehend. And they want to exploit you. There are, let's say there are 100. There is obviously 1,000 tons of thousands. There are 100 most powerful people. Best resources, best engineers, best funds. And you are just a single individual in the system. You are trapped. You cannot fight against the most powerful without anything. You don't even know who they are. Isn't that ironic? And then we are having like this sort of movement of like detoxification. It's become a trend. Don't you think? It's quite a, I won't say, no, just let's keep it normal. When something becomes a trend is something that people come into contact with for some amount of time to do a group activity, and something, a trend is destroyed. Like, oh, there is a trend of iPhones in the past exploded. Financial literacy, who cares about that? And then, oh yes, that American trend about Labubu, where is that now? All those money spent on it, all those over consumerism, where did that go? What did it get them into? That, of course. Why would we care about financial literacy? Why would we care about what we need or want? We only want what we think will get us the attention. And you have thrown internet into the mix. Now it's at a global level. Isn't it fascinating? Yeah, how each of these individuals willingly destroys themselves to get a bit of attention that will soon pass away. So sad, so depressing, man. What can we do? There's very little things we can do. One thing we can do is educate ourselves, buy ourselves in whatever we like. Now, if you ask me for it in simple terms, I just say, fuck everything and follow your desires. Isn't that the best thing? When you're driven by your desires, you move forward and there's nothing stopping you because you won't see anything as an obstacle. Because when you follow your desires, all you can think about is about what you want and you want to get out of that. You don't think about the difficulties, the problems that will come in your way because you have already considered them, that you will deal with them and move forward. That's the beauty of art. Desires, if one desires hard enough, recklessness of like If all, if you compose a human of just desires of their purest desires, then they will achieve it or they will die trying to achieve it. But you will never see them in depressed state or anxiety or sadness or glooming or sulking. Why? Because they are pursuing what they want to do in life. Why would be they sad about mundane things? Because they are far above that. They don't have time for necessary things as such. The reason we can be depressed, sad, have the anxiety is because we have the ample amounts of free time. And what do they say? Like the free mind is the place of the devil. When you give free time, ingenious thoughts and everything takes place. But you might think you want to be that person. You want to have such ferocity in your desires, but you cannot be because desire is not something that you can just think and have. You have to want it with all your heart, dedicate your whole being to it, and sacrifice your past self, the self before the desires. And because when you encompass all of your desires, you stop being yourself. And the person who is born out of that desires is another being. This can also be explained in psychology terms, which I do not think is necessary for this current case. And once that is achieved, then it does not really matter. It just does not matter if there is a famine, there is a war, because why would you care about it? You have something you want to achieve and you will do your best of it is to get closer to it. Why should anything else matter to you? Why should the opinion of others matter to you? Oh, look what I just said. Opinion of other humans. The most instantaneous things that corrupts us in this day and age of modern internet era. Oh goodness gracious, how could I? So now you understand how it is so easy to be rage baited, so easy to feel feel like yourself is slipping away because it calls out to you. Everything in this show, internet, the media, the addictions, all they do is to pull your desires down. No one wants you to desire. No one wants your pure desires because it conflicts their benefits. Because if you desire, you won't desire for someone else's benefits. You will desire for your own. And now if you say to me like a role of knight, a knight protects his woman, the lady, the man, the king he's devoted to, then that's his desire to protect that specific individual. It indirectly benefits the individual, but it will always directly benefit the knight because that's what he wants. It does not matter if the king or the queen or the prince or the princess wants to die. He only wants to protect them. It's his desire. That's why I think it's foolish when people can turn their heads. Like, let me give you an example that solves many problems of explaining. Say you have a very great individual who has the skills and the capabilities to do all, and he commits evil. He committed a lot of evil to get here where he is, and he has become the most influential figure. He has all the power, and everyone fears him. So, let me ask you a question. How do you think we make him the most lovable? How do we turn a tyrannical ruler into the most loved human? It's simple. Call out to people's desires and what they want. People want freedom. So let the king be portrayed as such that that tyrant planned his own death before committing such acts. And so you have the tyrannical kill and make the world acknowledge that he killed himself to give the freedom back. Now everyone loves him, but he's dead. Or at least he presumes to be dead. For all we know, he might as well do a doppelganger and get someone else killed in his place. People would love him. It does not matter if that hatred they still try to hate, because it would not matter. We are not some greater beings who can overlook our feelings. We are humans. We are driven by feelings. And that is something which is natural. There's nothing to be done about it. I can't ask you to. I cannot ask you to be like emotionless, to not be human. That is simply not possible. And I think I have spoken much for a single video. Of course, I would love to continue speaking more, but I don't have the time right now. So have a lovely day to all of you, and think about it and don't stress it, because you already got much worries in life. Let this not be one of them, because all this video was to spread awareness, yes, and for me to talk about my feelings on this topic. That will be all. See you next time, and do leave a like and a comment that encourages me. Thank you. This was Smiley.